we're talking about AEW, and so as I was saying, the apparently talent are displeased with All Out and All In. This is, I think, according to Brian Alvarez, said that, you know, the rumors backstage in AEW is that like talent aren't pleased with the idea either of doing another pay-per-view 7 days after All In or whatever.
He's doing that again.
Yes, yeah. He rolled out all of the pay-per-views. He's doing 9 pay-per-views over the next year. 9, bro. Like, come on, man. And then yeah, he's doing All In directly after, or All Out. Sorry, they're all fucking stupid. So sorry if I mix them up, but All Out is directly 1 week after All In Wembley. And Wembley, I think, sold like 50K tickets only this time.
Could you imagine if like WrestleMania happened and then like a week later they did like Great American Bash or something like that, like some like low level pay-per-view? Who cares? And you're probably gonna do it like just awful. Let it breathe. Just let it breathe. Let the things that you do breathe.
So
are you not gonna have feuds blow off at All In? Like, is that it? Like, are you gonna have things continue on to All Out? Because All In feels like a show where rivalries should be settled.
I don't know. I try to get in Tony's head. I'm like, is his idea like, oh, the Americans who can't make it out to Wembley get a pay-per-view right after, and you get a pay-per-view, and you get a pay-per-view? I don't know.
Yeah, with the pay-per-views, with him adding pay-per-views every year, it leads to my least favorite AEW fan, Dave Meltzer, talking point, where like this year they were like, the one year they were like, oh, I mean, like AEW pay-per-view buys have gone through the roof this year. I'm like, yeah, because they added like 4 pay-per-views. The average buys per pay-per-view are way down.
They're down. And so
it's so disingenuous.
Speaking of like trending downwards, so John Draper at I Am John Draper says, this is an honest question because I really don't know, but have any of the large podcasts or large publications covered the fact that the Bucks turn away a large portion of the audience on a regular basis? Which is a key thing that I didn't factor in really when I was like, no, this is working. They're doing character work. That's just it too. The Bucks turn so many people away that it's like, it's sure, but do this story with other people. So this guy here, Switchblade 97, shout him out, says, I went through a year of Bucks segments on Dynamite between August 22 to August 23 and found that they lost on average 46,000 viewers every time they had a segment, and lost viewers. So sometimes that's 100,000. Sometimes that might only be 70,000, but then the overall rating might be lower. There's so many ways to break that down, but that's still like a chunk of people there. They lose every time they had a segment and lost viewers on 23 out of 28 segments. So, I mean, it's not an indictment, but it's like, goddamn, where there's smoke, there's fire, son. Where there's smoke, there's fire, son. What?
There's subjectivity is saying the Bucks are great or the Bucks are bad, like they're talent wise. It's objectivity, objective fact is pointing to a number and being like the number goes down when they show their faces on the screen, and that's what this shows.
Yeah, and your boy Phil will never argue with the objective results of fucking math, baby. That's that's it.
You would think that the the numbers guy that Tony Khan apparently is, like the statistics and all that, like he should be able to be like, oh look, these numbers all go down, but he doesn't care. I used to say this all the time in the beginning, but I was like look, the number of people watching the show or the number of people that like the show doesn't matter, because the number of Tony Khans watching the show and the number of Tony Khans that liked the show are the same.
You're right, dude. It won't grow. I don't think it'll grow either unless like their kids grow up to like that. But then how long until they get older and then they discover WWE? Older with age comes nuance, and
I mean there's one Tony Khan watching it and one Tony Khan liking it, and that's what matters. It's a show for him. Yeah. It's not a show for the people. He's putting on a show that he
definitely not for the people. I just thought I was speaking. I thought you meant like his ilk as well, but rather either way.
Somebody commented on the headlines yesterday, and I keep thinking about it because they're like, no matter how hard you try, AEW will never die. I'm like, God, I hope not. Because what the hell would I talk about? Like he's the greatest thing that ever happened to content creation.
Yeah. Dude, we don't want AEW to go. He's like the Brendan Schaub of pro wrestling, dude.
He is the He gave us the same gift that like Donald Trump gave the mainstream media, because there's
Yeah,
always
it's
something.
fucking late night talk show hosts.
Yes. Like, I don't want you to go away. No, for the love of God.
But speaking of Tony Khan and his ilk and his booking style and blah, 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 Skye Blue gets stuck in barbed wire for several minutes after a brutal table spot on the Rampage where they did a Minnesota massacre. What the fuck? And they ended with the table spot. And then as the show went off the air, and you could tell when it landed, it was nasty. And Skye Blue was stuck for several minutes after. So I'm commenting, I'm live going, this is brutal. Like, the landing looked brutal. Thank God the match ends. All of a sudden you find out the next day she was stuck in the fucking barbed wire.
You're gonna maim yourself. You're gonna look like Sabu. For what?
Right. Well, that's what I tweeted out. That's what I tweeted
wasn't
out
it like
at Pro Wrestle Times.
The quarter hour for that segment, wasn't it like 300,000 people?
It was brutal, man. Like, there was like 200,000 people maybe watching this, and like in the main event, right? Like, they ended with this. Like, this was Tony's big, the main event. And so I tweeted out at Pro Wrestle Times on X. I posted, there's no point in having her partake in these matches. She's a beautiful young woman who could be garnering dyslexia, I missed B, who could be garnering unholy amounts of money and attention to your company, and you got her slamming herself into barbed wire and getting stuck in it like Terry Funk for 500 people in Winnipeg. Jesus Christ, Tony. So I can't say it any better than I tweeted it out, I guess. So it's just foolish to me. I don't know what they're trying to do. She probably scarred up that nice booty. Kyle Fletcher, what's up? But it's just, he doesn't need to keep doing this. And then what is Willow, like the hardcore queen? None of this shit equals longevity. None of this shit equals garnering the most out of these talents. On AEW Restricted, their podcast, Will Ospreay was on there. And again, I didn't want to clown Ospreay, but I'm like, this is such copium. So now he's saying, like, I didn't even want to go to WWE. I wouldn't have even went there. And to me, it's just, look at this face right here. But to me, I'm like, dude, you're smoking the copium now. Let it the fuck go. Why are you on AEW Restricted pod now, bringing it up again? Like, bring it up if you go on Ariel Helwani and he asks you about it. Don't bring it up on your guys' shit. God damn it.
I honestly think that it's a matter of I don't think he made, like, look, long term, did he make the wrong choice? Yeah, if you want to talk about like him being a mainstream star or whatever. But I mean, Tony's probably paying him an outrageous amount of money, and he doesn't have to uproot his family. And thinking in terms of like a husband and father, like, that maybe wasn't the right choice for me and like my career aspirations of superstardom and my WrestleMania moment, but maybe it's the right option for my wife and kids. Look, at this idiot's going to pay you millions. WWE was not going to pay him millions. There's no way. He would have had to uproot his whole life, take his family across the Atlantic, live in Orlando, and, in a new country. And Triple H would be paying him, probably lowest six figures. I don't know what they pay new
hundreds of thousands for sure.
He'd be on NXT, and he'd have the opportunity. And I think he would rise to the, within 3 or 4 years.
I always thought so too.
Yeah, I think that in 3 or 4 years he would be, one of the upper echelon guys. But this guy's like, hey, I'm going to give you millions of dollars right now. You don't have to. You don't have to move. You don't have to work a lot. You could be with your wife. You could be with your kids. And maybe he made that decision as a person and not as a professional wrestler. That's my take on it, at least.
I always thought he would rise, as you just mentioned a moment ago. He would rise. He was cream that would rise to the top of WWE, but we'll never get to know now because he's locked in for 8 years. So unless some WCW type shit goes down and his AEW just tanks and gets bought up, we're never going to see it. I don't know. Here's what he has to say about the whole Triple H deal. And a lot of people, I got a comment, a tweet, because I quote tweeted this and someone went under there and was like, Triple H literally attacked. This is their verbatim what they said. Triple H literally attacked his girlfriend and shit. And I was like, bro, I don't know what dirt sheet you're in. Yeah, but like, what the fuck? Isn't he married? Man? Sure, but like, he literally attacked Triple H's wife. So like, what are we doing now, guys? Like this, there's so much copium going on. Shit drives me insane. The IWC sometimes. It's hard existing in that bubble sometimes. But here's Ospreay coping.
The other side is, I think generally people are actually happy to see somebody come into AEW and is actually happy to be at work. I'm actually generally excited.
So like what does that mean? I'm actually happy to be there instead of who? Edge? Like, come on, man. You're just making shit look worse.
No crap, you're happy to be there. You're getting paid millions of dollars, and you get to do whatever you want.
Look,
Yeah, man, and just him saying like, "Oh, someone who comes into AEW who's actually sorry about that, who's actually happy to come to work." Well, like opposed to who? Like who is that, another punk rep? Like what the fuck are you talking about? And to like you said, everybody should be happy to get to work there, dude. They're all getting paid insane money. Even if you're doing just the one shots, you get paid really good money. But those one shots can hurt because Tony did scoop a lot of the people up just so WWE couldn't have them.
Happy to be at work.
And that's why Ospreay gets paid what the fuck he gets paid. You know, it can't be stressed enough. So, like, obviously he's going to defend AEW. Obviously FTR is going to defend AEW. He gives them 7 figures too.
I'm actually generally excited to be at work. This is great. And I don't think people realize the opportunities we have. And like, once upon a time, this didn't exist. It was
true.
It was just WWE in Japan and Ring of Honor. That was it. Like, and like a TNA. So like, for me, like coming in here, like I was never going to go to WWE. Like, I mean,
don't cap. I wish I had stopped the cap on here. No,
why does he sound like the Artful Dodger? Consider yourself at home. Feel like you should be sweeping chimneys with Mary Poppins with that accent. My God.
Cartoon birds and shit flying around. Oh my God.
There was talk about it, but just the position that I'm in right now with my family, I don't want to move. I don't want to relocate. My kids just started.
And you did that because, and again, Will, I'm not undermining that. I understand. But listen, the reason Tony's money didn't get it to where you were established and well in the UK. That's the money you made doing Japan and all that other shit you were doing. But now Tony makes it to where like you can live comfortably, and he's like, yeah, I'll give you millions to just stay where you're at. You don't got to move after you just finally got settled because of your Japan indie blowing up. Like that's why he did all those dates. Most people cancel all of their dates and then they sign with AEW or WWE and they go, oh, sorry, I'm canceled. That's how all these dirt sheets find out. Oh, they canceled their upcoming dates. Well, Ospreay didn't do that. He signed and then did all of his fucking dates. And why? Because that was a shitload of money he wasn't about to leave on the table. So all I'm saying is that, like, yes, I'm not undermining like your viewpoint of that or whatever, right? Or where he's coming from in that. I would take the bag too for the family and the home and the comfortable, all of that. But this is cope, bro. Like you would have went to WWE if they said, yeah, same money and you're fighting fucking Cody for the belt. You'd have went there. So like, let's not pretend. And like ifs and buts, I guess, but that's what he's doing too. So I don't know.
So if you generally like dug into like my missus and like her journey within pro wrestling, it's like, it's talked about.
WWE, nobody cares about your misses and the journey in pro wrestling, and that's not disrespect to her, but they're trying to sign you, right? This isn't like you're carrying cross with Scarlett Bordeaux or whatever. You know, you're not like a package deal. It's like you're doing your thing, dude.
For our country, but just like it hasn't reached anywhere else. But like,
oh, she's really big here, but not in America. Okay.
My main focus is making sure that she's all right and that my family and her social circle are within reach. Like I can enjoy the travel. I've been doing it for bloody ages. So like for me now, it's just like I get to come in here and I'm on national TV, and I generally thought I'd never be in this position. I thought I was just going to be the kid in Japan for the rest of my life, and I was happy with that. I was more than happy to be the kid in Japan, but this opportunity came up, and I just couldn't turn it down.
WWE only offered you any job because AEW was going to offer you a job, bruv. So, like, I'm not trying to be a hater, but, like, if it was just between them and New Japan, they wouldn't. I don't think they'd have maybe offered him something, but
he would have.
You think?
Triple H is very plugged into the indies, like a lot more than anyone thinks he is.
Right.
Like, so he is. I think Will has definitely been on his radar for a while now.
I don't know. I mean, I definitely, because didn't Triple H work some indies in the 90s too? Like when they were kind of becoming a little bit of a thing before they got kind of swamped out.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, they were kind of, it's like that weird period in between the territories and the indies.
Yeah. So, okay.
Damn, because every single time I've come here,
I just feel like he's coping, and it's like, Will, you're starting after he's like, I'm not bringing it up, bro. I'm better than everyone. And then he's bringing it up again. God damn it.
I've really enjoyed myself. And it's just one of those days where I was like,
that's true though. Yeah. So basically we get what he's saying, but he's saying he already enjoyed himself. That's why he took the bag. He doesn't need to fucking do all and like, I agree with him. Don't do what the marks are telling you to do, but don't also, go on the national TV show. I'm so sick of talking about Ospreay and Triple H at this fucking point, to be honest. I'm just sick of even talking about it. It's like, you're still talking about it, Will? God damn it. When was this recorded? AEW Unrestricted, When the fuck do your episodes air? Because that's like, come on. It's like that blew over the fucking news cycle already.